ACL Pro Stacia Pugh is going to be on the show this week to talk about her two biggest passions, one being cornhole, another one being chess. She's going to talk a little bit about how the two are related. We're also going to give out some conference power rankings going into the second national of the season. Who is riding high at the top of these power rankings and who has a lot of work to do the rest of the season? Find out this week on the ACL Throwdown. Yes, I got some girl power this week. ACL Pro Stacia Pugh going to come on the show, talk about her huge win in Fort Lauderdale at that ACL kickoff battle. Her and Stacia Pugh taking first place in women's doubles. It was an incredible win for them. Stacia is jacked up. I was jacked up for them, so it was a lot of fun. I can't wait for my conversation with Stacia to talk about that. But first, everybody's favorite topic. Let's talk power rankings. At the beginning of the season, I went through my power rankings, who I thought would emerge as the top conference of the year. Of course, at the 2018 ACL Championships, we had the Atlantic Conference win the WCO World Cup. So they are riding high off that championship still probably. But I'm going to go through my top 5 conferences. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to pick a top 5. And I need you guys to comment on this video, whether you're watching on social media or if you're watching on the digital network, drop it in the chat room. Did I get these picks right? I know you guys love these power rankings, and let me know if you think I'm too far off. Let's jump right into it. Number 5, I have the Mid-East Conference, just breaking into that top 5 of the power rankings. The Mid-East Conference led by none other than Cody Henderson and Adam Hister, ACL pros, struggled at that first National of the Year. That's part of the reason I got them at number 5. Cody Henderson currently still does hold the number 1 overall ranking in the country. I do caution against rankings right now, though. Not all conferences have had all their second conference events, so that's going to skew the standings just a little bit. So I'm really looking at finishes at conferences and finishes at nationals to kind of gauge everybody. Another up-and-comer, I like Devin Harbaugh, had a great finish at his conference events. He's not an ACL pro, but he had a big run in Florida at the kickoff battle. He's really carrying the conference. Jay Dotson, another name, he had a strong third-place finish in advanced singles in his bracket, so he's really holding up that conference. And then, of course, Stacia Pugh and my guest this week, Stacia Pugh. Big win in women's doubles. I like the Mid-East. They definitely still got some work to do, but they have a great start on the season. Let's jump up to number 4. They're going to be a little bit of heads turning here. Dropping down from the 1 spot to number 4, the Atlantic Conference. Ooh, got some controversy already. The number 4 slot, nothing to be too ashamed of, but they do drop a little bit in my rankings. Didn't have as strong of a finish at the ACL kickoff battle as I expected them to, or wanted them to. They are led by strong finishes in singles by James Baldwin. Really the best finisher by far in the Atlantic Conference in Florida. James Washington had a respectable finish, but not too great of a showing in singles from the Atlantic. In doubles, they definitely got a big boost halfway. Jordan Kamba and Derek King, a split team, one person in Atlantic and one person in the Mid-South. Jordan Kamba getting a win in pro doubles was big for the conference. Timothy Pitcher and Leston Allen had a strong finish, just came up 1 game short for making the broadcast in pro doubles. And then Michael Lucas Jr. and Michael Dingus had strong finishes in both pro doubles and advanced doubles, so they're really contributing as well. Like I said, the margins are razor thin here, but I do look for the Atlantic Conference to pick it up, and no reason why they can't jump up a few more spots. Moving up to number 3, Another little bit of a drop here. I got the Mid-South Conference just dropping one spot down. The Mid-South. Now, really, the reason that they're 3, they didn't have great finishes in singles at all at the ACL National. But the biggest thing is 5 out of the 8 players that were in the Pro Doubles Finals in Florida were from Louisville, Kentucky, which is dead center of the Mid-South Conference. So they, aside from winning the entire thing, they completely dominated Pro Doubles, and that is a big tournament to dominate, and that's why I give them a lot of credit. I gotta bump them up a good bit. And they, like I said, not great finishes in singles. I mean, their best finisher really was Matt Guy coming in 5th in his bracket. And so that's why they're not at that 2 or that 1 spot, even though they dominated the biggest tournament at the First National. Let's move up to number 2. We got the Great Lakes Conference, the Great Lakes Conference. These guys really came out swinging. I said at the beginning of the year, you got to watch out for the Great Lakes. They're going to be a tough conference to beat, and they're proving it. Big win in Crew Cup at the National. You saw that 19-2 comeback. Ryan Windsor, Isidro Herrera, and Dave Sutton, all Great Lakes members of that Crew Cup team. Tanner Halbert, shout out for a good finish there as well. Ryan Windsor also coming in a 2nd place finish in advanced singles, a big strong finish there. David Morse and Mike Jaquez both had respectable finishes in advanced singles. It both finished top 20. In addition to that, had a really strong finish in Pro Doubles as well. I respect and I put them at number 2 this high simply because of the depth. They finished well in every single event that they played in Florida, and I think that really speaks volumes. They have a couple top 10 players in the overall rankings. Like I said, I'm not holding overall rankings too tightly right now just because they may be a little bit skewed, but still having some top 10 players is respectable. And finally, the number 1 spot in the power rankings is a surprise to a lot of people. It was a surprise to me. I had them lower in my rankings, but they have proven this season that they can compete with anyone. The number 1 spot going to the Southeast Conference. Yes, the Florida boys have come to play this season, even starting all the way back in November, going all the way through the first National of the year. They've been killing it. Led by none other than Dalton McClem and Kyle Malone, ACL Pro. They've won 22 straight games at the national level. Playing against the best competition in the country, Malone and McClem have won 22 straight games. I don't know when they're going to lose. I don't know if they will lose this year. They have been on a roll. Dalton McClem obviously winning singles in the advanced singles division in Florida. Him and Malone winning advanced doubles. They had a win in Crew Cup with Tanner Halbert. Only 1/4 of that team in Crew Cup, but a win for that Southeast Conference, at least a partial win. And then look at Pro Doubles. You had Matthew Sorrells and Emery Parker come in 2nd place, just a few points short of defeating Jordan Kamba and Derek King. An incredible finish for them. Then you have guys like Noah Wooten and Drew Brown, who had such a strong finish. Noah Wooten is playing lights out right now, had a strong finish in both singles and advanced doubles. So this conference is clicking on all cylinders. It's got new up-and-coming players. It's got elite players. You got to watch out for the Southeast. Not even to mention Cheyenne Renner coming in a strong 2nd place finish with Allison Hines. Shout out Allison as well with the Atlantic Conference. So they got the women as well down there winning in their divisions as well. That'll do it. That'll do it for our rankings. Like I said, number 5, we got Mid-East, number 4, Atlantic, number 3, Mid-South, number 2, Great Lakes, and number 1, Southeast. All right, comment below. Let me know where I screwed up, where I got it all wrong. I want to hear your opinions. Make sure you share this video and let your friends know. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to get to my conversation with ACL Pro Stacia Pugh. We'll talk about her success in chess, her success in cornhole and how the two have met to make her very happy and get her the competitive edge that she needs.
ACL Pro Stacia Pugh on the show this week on the ACL Throwdown, coming off of her huge win at the ACL Kickoff Battle in women's doubles, playing with ACL Pro Christine Papke. Stacia, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show this week. Second of all, what was it like to have such a big win on the big stage back in Florida?
Yeah, well, it was amazing. Trey, if I had to start this podcast with a hashtag, I think it'd be feels good, man. Christine and I, I don't know that we were expecting to win, but we knew we had chances. And so we went in there knowing we'd have to fight hard. There's a lot of up and coming young talent. Will we hold up? I don't know. But we did this time. So we're thankful for that.
Yeah, and you guys won in such a dominating fashion. And it looks like you guys have been playing together nonstop for the past 10 years. But little do people know, or some people know, that you guys used to play together a lot and you took a lot of time off from each other. Now this year, back playing together again in women's doubles. What was it like playing together again after so many years of a layoff?
It's really awesome. Christine's like the big sister I never had, and the mom I do have rolled into one. So it feels very like I'm trying to say she's like family to me. We have a lot in common. We have a lot of differences, but the way we mesh together, that dynamic has held up, and I feel like we're stronger than ever. So it's really exciting to be throwing with her specifically, because I retired from Cornhole 6 months, but like most breakups, it didn't hold up. So it's just great that I can throw with Christine in women's doubles because, of course, I have Chucky Love as my normal partner. So it's kind of like I have the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Absolutely. And well, I, for one, as a cornhole fan first, I am glad that the breakup, you guys were able to get past this and able to get back together. So I think we are all thankful for that. So, you mentioned your partnership with Chucky Love. Let's talk a little bit about that for a couple minutes. You and Chucky, as an ACL Pro team, had a decent start in Florida, but I know you guys, your goals are high for the rest of the season. What are you and Chucky looking to do over the next national in St. Louis, but again for the rest of the season in that pro doubles division?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that, Trey. It's like I'm almost taken back by questions like that because I don't think about results. And I actually learned this from chess, but I learned it from cornhole actually, because I feel like when I set a goal, like I want to be number one, it puts a lot of artificial pressure on myself coming from myself and results in worse throwing. So I've decided not to think about results so much. Instead, I focus on bag for bag. I focus on my game. I don't want to be at the boards thinking things like, oh man, I'm on TV right now, or oh man, I have to win this game, or Chucky's going to disown me as a partner. Because those things, maybe they're true, but I think in the moment, those thoughts don't help. But what does help is, what is the correct shot right now? Am I aimed at the hole correctly? Is my release point in the right spot? Things that will help me throw more accurately. So I guess the answer to the question is, I don't really know, but I think Chucky wants to take it all, so I'm going to do my best to help him.
What a great answer. And, you briefly mentioned chess. Some may or may not know how heavily involved you are in the chess community. You spoke to me before the call and said you've actually moved into a full-time chess and cornhole player. I know you do some mentoring in chess as well. So you're heavily involved in both. We'll call them sports right now, and people can argue later, but you're heavily involved in both of those. What are some overlap that you get between chess and cornhole?
Yeah, way more than you would expect. I mean, they sound like polar opposites, like cornhole, throwing a bag at a hole and, originating as a tailgating game. And then you've got chess, which is this intellectual, like masterpiece sort of game. And, but what I've noticed between the two is that the sports psychology is exactly the same. And if I may, I have like a top 5 things that I've learned from chess that I'm applying to cornhole, and I'd be happy to share that.
Oh my gosh, I love lists. I love them. Let's hear it.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big fan of lists. Number 1 on my list is play the position. I know cornhole isn't thought of as a strategic game, but I view it to be highly strategic. Chess has taught me, the same way that cornhole has, that, sometimes different shots are correct. And in chess, sometimes there's a slow move that is required. Sometimes it's a risky move. Sometimes the winning move is on the board and you just need to do it. Sounds like cornhole, right? Sometimes the winning airmail to drag everything in and win is there, and that's the correct shot. Sometimes your opponent has 20, and if you miss the airmail, you lose. Now, it's not the correct shot. A safe throw is correct. And I think playing the position on the board is number 1 there. Number 2 is patience. Of course, you got to be patient in chess. Number 3 is focus on the bag in your hand. And in chess, it would be focus on the move in front of you. Of course, in chess, you have a lot of time to do so, but cornhole is no different. And you probably notice I play cornhole like a chess player, very slowly. So that's my number 3 is focus on the bag in your hand. Number 4 is don't underestimate your opponent. Sometimes in chess, you might think about taking a risk, thinking your opponent won't see what they could do to punish you, but you should not do that in chess, and you should not do that in cornhole. They could 4-bag you there as well. They could 20-bag you. So be ready for that at all times. And number 5, of course, is practice to improve. I've been improving rapidly in chess. It's because I'm playing a lot of it. And I had the same experience when I was playing nearly every day, or probably every day, with cornhole. I was rapidly improving. I don't know if I'm improving now, but I seem to be holding my own. But when I do practice, I do tend to see improvement in my play. So that's the list.
Yeah, it's an incredible list, and it's obvious that you play the game so analytically. I can see that, make a lot of comparisons to chess, and I can honestly see it in your throw. You mentioned to me earlier about your unique throwing style, the flick of the wrist, the different things that you can tweak to your throw to give you the throw that you want. Tell me a little bit about your throw and how much thought is put into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm basically what I would call a wrist thrower. And a lot of people follow through and that kind of thing. I don't have to follow through. What I need is to use my wrist to do different things with the bag. And that probably sounds weird, but just for example, one thing I can do is throw a lot of spin on the bag if I choose, and do things like throw a high bag with a lot of spin, which is better for grabbing bags that are on the edge of the hole on the side. And if I hit it correctly, it will kind of like take that bag into the hole with that bag. And on the flip side of that, if the board conditions are correct, I can also throw like a bag with no spin at all, just like a knuckleball bag. That will have the opposite effect of actually sort of hopping and rolling over the bags to get in. And that's a fun one to use because people will be like, wow, what a lucky shot that was. Well, it is a little bit lucky, I'm not going to lie, but when you're trying to do that and it works, it's a good feeling. And it's good to have every tool available to you during a cornhole game, if you ask me.
The roll bag is by far the most devastating bag to leave your opponent with. You get a lot of drop jaws and a lot of frustration if someone throws the roll shot on you. I know how effective it can be. Well, Stacia, I appreciate your time this week. I love we need to get you on this here again. You got so many good bits, so analytical. I feel like we could make a whole podcast series, just Stacia and Trey talking about the ins and outs in cornhole. So maybe we'll get that started. So thank you so much for coming on this week, and we'll get you on here again soon.
Well, thanks so much, Trey. And if anyone wants, I do have a Cornhole blog. I don't know if it's the only one but available, but I have one. It's queenofcornhole.blogspot.com. You can follow me there and check out what I'm doing. And I'll also post all of those things on Facebook. So if you friend me on Facebook, you can find me there. And yeah, I don't want to bore everybody, but with endless.
Hey, I read them. So if you, like you said, get to the queenofcornhole.blogspot, get there, read Stacia's article. She's got some good stuff on there, and make sure you follow her on Facebook as well. Thanks so much, Stacia.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. The honor was mine.
Man, you can feel the passion from ACL Pro Stacia Pugh, not only about cornhole, but about chess as well. Sounds like her and I could talk hours about cornhole. And hey, Stacia, I wasn't all that kidding about this podcast. Maybe we'll have to combine for some more chats. I know those cornhole nerds out there would love that. That is all the time that we got this week on the ACL Throwdown. Like I said, that second National of the year is coming up. Make sure you get registered. Registration is open. You can go to app.iplayacl.com, app.iplayacl.com to get registered. Select all the events you want to play in. It is going to be an absolute blast. You do not want to miss it. For the American Cornhole League, this is Trey Ryder, and we'll see you guys next week.